The 2022 Mission Australia Youth Survey shows that 1 in 4 young people in Australia are experiencing distress over climate change. Nearly 2 in 5 of them also go through psychological distress.
There's a significant number of people, more than half the population of young people in Australia, who are really quite worried about climate change. And increasingly, when it's hot, people are more likely to present to the emergency department with a range of mental health disorders, including self-harm and suicidal behaviour, but also worsening of other mental health conditions, including psychosis.
Young people in Australia express concerns when asked about the environment.
Quite concerned, I guess, long term. Yeah.
I don't know beyond our generation what the next generation is going to look like, and in terms of what sustainable practices might be coming. I mean, technically, looking at the Australian government response, we don't really have any set targets. We do have a zero emissions target by 2050, but looking at the policies, I'm not sure if we're ever going to achieve that.
I'm engineering in sustainability, so that's my job actually.
And actually there's a significant number of people who lose their lives during heat waves and even actually single hot days.
If you want a French experience, it was the same. We have a lot of heat waves during this summer, and until last week we had like 30 degrees in France, but in France it's supposed to be the middle of autumn. So 30 degrees in the middle of October is not possible usually.
I've never done the Australian summer, and I was expecting, to have like winter, spring, and then summer, and like all of a sudden it came from like 10 or 11 degrees to like 30, 35. It was tiring and exhausting and everything, and really scary. Like, how can we just keep a season?
It is generally beneficial for people's mental well-being to spend time in nature, and there is growing evidence that it is good for things like anxiety and climate distress. If people are experiencing distress about damage to the environment, distress about climate change, then taking action based on their values is one of the things that really helps.
I would try to rather take the bicycle instead of the car or public transport, like that kind of stuff, so I don't make it worse.
Knowing and seeing that the government is taking action is also an important factor in reducing that distress.
So those actions include, we follow the advice from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. We need to be supporting communities, so the people who are impacted by closures of coal-fired power stations and by not expanding our very large gas industry. The other thing is these impacts are already here, and we cannot completely prevent them because it's too late to do that. There is still time to take action that will make a big difference, so there's really lots of opportunities for government both to be taking action now, to provide that information and to support local communities, and to be showing that leadership to prevent things from getting worse.